Hey all, I've done videos 1 and 2 so far, focusing on the D and the G, going between the scales. I want to do lesson 3 today, add the B and E strings with the major and minor scale, doing the same thing, going back and forth. We're doing basically the same thing as the last video in the beginning with these two strings, with the D and the G strings, and then we'll throw some B and E on. So, since I've already done this in the other video, I'm not going to walk through too much on this. I'm just going to play the intro, and then when it goes to change, I'll start explaining, alright? So, this is where it changes now. As we were going something like that. Now, instead of doing that, we're going same 10, 12, 10. This time we're going back to 12. Okay. Coming down to the B, hitting 10, 12, 10. Back up to the G string, hitting 12. B, we're going to go 10, 12, slide to 13, back to 12. Okay? It's just a bunch of repetition. It sounds complicated, but it's nice and easy. Look here. We're on the G string, B string, G, B. It's that easy. Okay. Now, drop down to the E string, 12 to 10, and back up to the B, one string up, 10 to 12. Okay. I would advise using your middle finger and just twisting it up there. Okay. And then 10, 12, 10 on the E. Bend the 13th on this one. Okay? So here's what we got. Okay? Fairly simple. All right here. 10 and 12, except for the bend, is 13. It's all these two frets on these three strings. Now, after that bend, we want to pick 10 and do a hammer-on pull-off on the 12. Slide down, do the same, 8, 10. Okay? We're basically emulating this. Okay? We're emulating that, only doing it a little bit slower down here. Because it's okay? We're just using the notes in the scale to get you accustomed to the middle portion as well. Now, slide all the way down to 5. We're going to go 7 to 5 on the high E. Come up with your middle finger to the 6th, right between them, on the B, and slide up to 8. Okay? Wish this light wasn't so directly on the fretboard. Okay? So we're going to do this. Bring your first finger back. We're going to hit on the 6 here and slide back down to 5. Okay? So we're going coming up to the D, or the G string, third string up. On the 7th, sliding down to the 5. Okay. So we're going. Then 5 to 4, same as we did in the very beginning. And the slide on the D string. Okay. And that's the end of it. So this is the whole thing, all the way through. I'll play it slow. Now we'll do it at normal speed. So. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. All that's doing now is helping you to hit that's every single note on those 4 strings in the minor and major scale, including the notes in the middle. That's what is the hardest about all this, because you can memorize the minor scale, you can memorize the major scale, but getting in the middle there, that's a little tricky once after you memorize these, because the major scale is on these 2 strings. Then on these 2 strings, you've got the same pattern, and then up here you've got the same pattern. However, minor scale, and there's a lot of different ways to do this, but you're gonna have the minor scale is different. It does not have the same repeating pattern on every 2 strings. You're not just memorizing 3 patterns with the minor scale. So getting in the middle there and remembering that there's the minor scale and there's the minor scale, but from here that's right, but this is not. You gotta, that's right, you got that stretch. And then up here, you got, they're right next to each other on the other side. And there. That middle portion is what everybody has the most trouble with on trying to connect the minor and the major scales. But, run through that one I gave you a few times. See if it doesn't get a little more comfortable with it. Feel free to embellish it all you want to. Do whatever you want with it. As long as you're hitting the notes and you're going back and forth between those scales, that's all that you really need to do. That's the whole point of this whole damn thing, is going in between those 2 scales and being consistent and hitting everything to become more comfortable with combining those scales and playing the minor and the major together, because they go together no matter what you do. If you're playing in major, you've got a minor scale right behind it. If you're playing in minor, you've got a major scale right in front of it. It's always like that, unless you're playing like D minor harmonic. In which case, if you didn't know harmonic, the scale I'm showing you is natural, the natural minor scale. It has every note in the minor scale. The harmonic, however, the natural scale is, okay? That's the whole scale. It just repeats after that. That's how you go down. It's just repeating it. The natural harmonic, instead of hitting here, you're hitting here. That's it. The sixth note is just up. Or the seventh, sorry. Get it? That's all it is. That's it. But that changes the whole scale when you're playing in harmonic instead of natural. However, if you've got the natural down, you're just changing one note for the harmonic. And yeah, it'll change it in two different places along that scale. I'll give you that. But remembering two notes when you've already got all of that stuff down, much easier. Every other scale is a variation on those two, the minor and the major. Every scale, diatonic, Phrygian, every scale is just a variation on those. So learn those, get back and forth. Next video I put out, I'll create the other scale that you're going to need, because right now you've got the minor, you've got the major connection to it, you got nothing here or behind. You got nothing behind the minor, you got nothing in front of the major. I'll make that scale, and that'll be the next one that I upload, is including that scale. After you've got that, you're right back to A minor, right back to C major, or your minor and major rather. No matter where you're at on the fretboard. If you're playing in G minor, you've got G minor, then you've got what? You got G, and you got A sharp major. See what I'm saying? And then you've got that right here, and they blend together. No matter what key you're in, you're going to have a minor and a major that go together, and it's going to be those exact same notes I just showed you, the exact same fingering I just showed you. And you can play the exact same riff that I just showed you in any key, and it'll be the same. Sliding back 2, sliding back 1, sliding forward 1, same everything. It's just going to be in a different spot on the fretboard. The minor and major scales go together seamlessly, and they stay the same. They just move around, but they stay the same. It's still the same patterns, no matter which key you're in, on both of them. Now, once I add that, once I get you that other scale, the C pattern ended right here. So you get down here, and then you're up to 13. But the next one will cover the next block right here, just past that, and then you're back to your minor, and then your major again, and then you're out of freaking guitar. Behind your minor, you put the same thing that I'm going to give you up here, because here's that next one, there's the minor, here's your minor, there's the next one. It's the same. It's going to be the same scale here that it is here. That's just how music works. So get those two scales down. And no, I didn't focus on the E and the A because come on. What anybody can do that. Just because the E and the A are the same patterns on the A, for the E string and the A string. On the minor, it's the same pattern. Major, it's the same pattern. And when you hit the last note on either one of the E or the A strings on the minor, you're at the first note for the major. Those two strings are the easiest there is. It's all the others that everybody has trouble with, and it's all the others you're going to be playing 95% of the time. So I'm not focusing on the E and the A. We can worry about that some other time when it matters at some point somehow. It's not going to, but if it ever does, then I'll throw something up on it. But until then, work on that. Get that whole pattern down and mess with it, play with it, see if you can change it up. You can start at the E, work your way up and around the other way, doing the same slides, trying to make some music out of it. Just hit the notes. That's all. Get comfortable with it. I'll put it on the next video when I can. I'm going to be pretty busy over the next few days, and probably next week or so. But when I can, I'll throw out another video with another scale, and we'll see if we can't line up the entire fretboard. Alright?